Once upon a time, in a dense forest filled with all kinds of animals and trees, there lived a small brown squirrel. She wasn't big or strong, nor did she have a loud voice like the lion or great speed like the deer. But she was wise, and that was her greatest strength. In the same forest lived a proud elephant. He was huge, powerful, and loved to show off his strength. Every day the elephant would stomp through the forest, shaking trees, scaring smaller animals, and feeling very important. One summer afternoon, the squirrel was busy gathering nuts and storing them in a hole beneath an old banyan tree. She had been working for weeks, preparing for the monsoon season. Suddenly, the elephant came charging through the trees. Without caring, he crushed the squirrel's nut pile, trampled her food stores, and almost destroyed her home. The squirrel cried out, "Why did you do that? That was my food for the rainy days." The elephant laughed. "Ha! You're just a tiny creature. What difference does your food make in this big forest? I'm an elephant. I go where I want." The squirrel replied calmly, "Strength without thought is dangerous. One day you may regret not listening to those smaller than you." The elephant scoffed. "What can a weak little thing like you teach me? You should be grateful I didn't step on you." The squirrel said nothing more and quietly began collecting nuts again. A few days later, dark clouds gathered and a storm hit the forest. The wind howled and rain fell in sheets. The forest floor turned into slush and rivers overflowed. The proud elephant, now drenched and cold, looked for shelter. But his usual spots were flooded. He saw a cave, but it was filled with water. Trees were falling, and the mud was too slippery to stand in one place. After wandering for hours in the storm, the elephant came near the banyan tree and collapsed beside it, shivering. The squirrel saw him, and despite how he had treated her, offered him some dry leaves from her hole for warmth and shared her stored nuts. The elephant, humbled, said, "You are small, but your heart and wisdom are greater than mine. I am sorry for mocking you." The squirrel smiled and said, "Remember this. Size doesn't measure strength, and power without wisdom can only cause harm. A big body means little if the mind is small." From that day on, the elephant changed. He became gentler, listened more, and respected every creature, no matter how small. So kids, the moral of the story is, wisdom and kindness are more powerful than strength. Never underestimate the small or the quiet. And that was the story of the squirrel's wisdom. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful tale from the Panchatantra that teaches us how kindness and wisdom are more powerful than strength. Thanks for watching. If you liked the story, then smile big and clap your hands. See you in the next story, kids. Until then, be wise, be kind, and keep smiling. Bye-bye.